Ladies and gents, welcome to another wholesome cast, the Dead Lemons cast. I think I've used that one before.
You have, and I'm still not sure why.
The wholesome cast. Or the Halloween cast, if ever we have Halloween this year.
It's a bit early, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, how's everyone doing? I know I can't hear you or see you, but I assume you guys are doing okay. Staying safe, staying COVID free, and this already sounds like the outro. And with
Great job.
Well, our great accomplishment this week, we finally beat the fucking, I don't even know the name of that boss. The egg beast. The yolk beast, whatever. I just call it the yolk beast. The Yesha beast. I can't pronounce
I don't
name,
even know what
okay?
you're talking about.
The shit that kept killing us in Remnant.
Remnant!
Yeah.
Okay. But obviously, I still don't know which one you're talking about.
The one that we have a hard time with.
Which one?
The
longest one?
Yes, on the bridge.
It's like the moth bastard.
Yeah,
moth
that guy.
thing.
That guy.
Yeah. We still have a long way to go, though.
Well, at least we beat him.
Yeah.
I
Also,
mean,
just as a thing for anybody who actually knows about Remnant from experience, if you think that the King of the Undead,
Undying King,
of the Undying King, is harder than the Mothra thing on the bridge, you're an idiot.
Well, maybe we figured it out. Well, we figured him out quick enough. I can't even say that.
No, issues already.
Yeah, wow.
A little early there.
And I haven't even drank whiskey yet. I think it's the fact that we just figured him out way too early. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
After the torture with that guy,
There wasn't really anything to figure out though with the Undying King.
That's true.
Just like,
If
okay,
anything,
shoot him in the head, and then
while
when
he
he's
heals.
healing, shoot him more in the head.
That's true. Dumbass. Like, to my surprise, he just stood there and took it. So.
Hey man, he's a champ.
He's a champ. All right. So I don't know, cause I was driving to change the topic.
Okay.
I was driving on the 405 today, and I was doing my daily Wednesday routine, going to the oncology clinic and all that stuff. Did you catch the sign off the 405? Do you know anything about that?
No, I haven't been on the 405 in a while.
Well, apparently they stuck a giant. I probably they've taken down by now, but there's a huge Trump sign there.
Oh really?
Off the Sepulveda.
Like a legitimate ad or what?
No, it looks like the Hollywood.
Somebody put it
sign,
up.
Like
Oh, okay.
says Trump on it, and I wonder how many aneurysms that probably started in the morning. Can you imagine being like a liberal going to work in the morning and just seeing that sign?
I would imagine they would ruin their day.
You can look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Very. I love that kind of stuff.
Around the election year, am I right?
Well, it's like not even a month away.
That's true. It's like less than a month.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like things are just getting crazier, and the VP debate actually happened today.
Yeah, I started watching it and then I decided to not finish it.
For what reason? Was it pretty much...
One, for the podcast. Well, actually, technically for food, which in retrospect, meh. Real quick sidetrack.
He's about to throw Kogi under the bus.
I'm about to throw Kogi under their own food truck. I'm not the only one who knows this. I'm not the only one who notices. Kogi in LA. It is a Korean-Mexican fusion food truck. Used to be fantastic. Used to taste great. Used to be a fun little experience to go to. Ever since they switched over their cooking duties and whatnot to a bunch of Mexicans, it just ain't the same.
Not the same, huh?
No. The flavors all start to blend in, and pretty much everything on the freaking menu starts to taste exactly the same.
Well, that was the problem I had today with the food. It just tasted like any other burrito.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, like, there are some... It's definitely... Like, if you've never gone to it, it's definitely worth going out and checking, because it is tasty if you've never had it before. But for somebody who used to go there semi-regularly and used to love...
We still regularly go there.
Ish. For me, I'm talking about I used to go every damn week. Back when they had, like, one or two trucks.
Oh, that's your bad, though.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't my bad, because it was worth it.
Well, the blackjack quesadilla is at least still good.
Well, yeah, the blackjack. Yeah, that's just true. All I'm saying is, you gotta change out your cooks. And honestly, like, jokes aside, it has nothing to do with the fact of them being Hispanic. has everything to do with the fact that Hispanics in general, or at least the type of Hispanics that they hired, don't give a rat's ass about what you tried to do with your flavors. They're just there to work and get paid, and that's it.
Yeah.
So you gotta hire people that at least care. So
I mean, at least it wasn't terribly expensive like other trucks.
No, but it's still like every time I go, like the last like 3 or 4 times that we've gone, I'm like, that was okay, but why did I spend that money on that?
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
And we completely forgot about Brick Burger.
We did.
Damn
Brick Burger.
We drove. We
shouldn't even mention that, honestly, because it's already usually busy as is. Except there's one damn time.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to.
It wasn't busy today, which pissed me off.
I know.
We could have just.
Those burgers are fantastic.
Yeah, no, maybe next week. For sure, next week.
Just stop being such hype beasts over there. No one cares.
A hype beast? What do you mean?
They got a Supreme brick, right there on the table.
Oh.
You always have the hype beasts go over there and then like with their fancy cars and stuff. I'm like,
and the
vlogger or whatever.
Who cares, man? No one gives a shit about you eating a fucking burger.
No one cares. Anyways, back to the topic on hand.
Yeah. Well, that's just straightforward. Well, yeah. I actually looked it up right now. They just took off the signs.
Did they? Yeah, I see it right now. I'm just on the front page of Google, and I see a bunch of stuff on all of that, which is hilarious. Because why does that matter?
You know the funny thing is how quickly they dispatched the sign. It's like, hey, let's take off the sign as soon as they had it for like one day, but you can't fix a fucking pothole that's been on the road for like years.
Oh yeah.
What the hell, guys?
It's
and you know what the funny thing is? When I was driving on the 405, they did close 2 lanes off Sepulveda Pass. So I'm assuming that was maybe the trucks coming in and getting to the sign.
Yeah.
And I was already getting an aneurysm from them being there. I'm like, who the hell blocks the 405 like this?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, the 405 is bad enough already.
Yes.
Yeah.
But damn, like, is that really where our taxpayer money is going to? Just to get rid of a sign where you can't fix all these potholes that are just appearing everywhere now?
Oh, here we go.
What's up?
So I'm on NBC, their coverage of the sign, and apparently, so number one, it says Caltrans workers laid the sign down, so it wasn't a visual distraction. So they didn't actually take it off. Okay. They just laid it down.
A visual distraction?
Yeah. And then it continues to say, by whoever this guy named Wonder is, Lauren Wonder, Chief Public Information Officer for Caltrans. This was a life and safety issue because there were concerns about distracted driving.
Really?
How much different is a freaking sign about Trump on a hillside compared to a freaking giant billboard, like one of those ones that actually moves and stuff, with like a giant TV screen?
Yeah.
How is that any less distracting?
Yeah, why don't you drive by a Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah,
and see how many,
exactly.
LED billboards.
And they're bright as hell.
Yep.
You going down on especially like a rainy night?
Yeah.
That stuff's hard to see.
Yep.
But
hey, ridiculous. Like I said, it probably caused a lot of aneurysms in the morning.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe I'm triggered this early in the morning.
That hillside is racist. It's oppressing me. Yeah.
The hills. Oh, man.
Can you imagine people pulling over and yelling at the hill, "Do you denounce white supremacy groups?" And then it doesn't answer. "You're racist then."
It's just like a gust of wind. And like one of those like old-fashioned dust balls or tumbleweeds that just come by. I knew it. People you have nothing to say.
Hey, so I gotta ask you.
What?
You said you got your stuff filled out already, right? For election day voting?
Yes.
So.
Well, that's also another thing I'd like to talk about with you.
Okay, well,
I was surprised to see who was running in the independent party.
Oh, I haven't even checked yet.
Oh, boy. You got Kanye West up in that bitch.
For real? He's still there?
Yeah.
That's actually frightening to me.
It's hilarious.
No, I'm scared.
Why?
There's a lot of idiots out there.
Well, he is running for VP. I don't know who the actual primary is or the presidential nominee is for the independent party.
You have a lot of idiots, and you have a lot of trolls. Okay?
I can fall under that category.
Right?
Either way.
I can totally see a ton of people voting for Kanye. Just for the hell of it.
And he actually wins?
Can you imagine?
Oh, man, that'd be kind of funny. I can't believe he's still in the freaking ballot. I'm surprised.
That's why it's weird to me. And he's the only one?
No, there's plenty. I believe like what? There's the Independent Party. There's obviously the Democratic Party, the Republican, and I think there's the Green Party. I believe is the other one.
The Green Party's gay.
They never win anything.
No.
I don't even know why they're still on the ballot. They're never relevant in any election here.
No. Well, there's also the Tea Party, isn't there?
Isn't the Tea Party? Oh no, that's not. That's the GOP. That's the Republican Party. What am I talking about? I guess there's that category as well because I know there's more than 4 categories for that. But
well, anyways, my question was.
Okay, go ahead.
So I already asked you earlier, the other day if you planned on mailing in your vote or if you're planning on dropping it off in person.
Well, neither.
Neither.
Well, hello. I have someone works in the post office in my end.
So you are gonna mail it in then?
No, I'm not mailing it. It's going straight there.
Oh, just not by you.
No.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
But that's just my special.
Well, that's
privileges.
dumb. Yeah, freaking privilege.
Free passports too. Go ahead.
Wait, for real?
Yeah, I got free passports.
You piece of crap. Give me a free passport.
Just fill out an application.
All right, I will. Anyways.
I got a bunch of people free passports.
Excellent. I expect the same treatment.
We'll see.
So do you have any concerns or speculations on what may occur at actual polling places? Or do you think everything's just going to go smoothly without a
hitch? Like physical polling places?
Yeah.
I mean, look what...
Because there's an obvious thing when it comes to mail-in voting, which is fraud. Or missing votes and stuff like that.
It's proven. You got people like Ilhan Omar just pretty much vetting random, like, I don't even know who she's giving money to at this point. Just random people on the street to go collect ballots.
Yeah.
So it's proven. I don't know why people are trying to denounce that.
Exactly. And it's still all over the mainstream. Even during, it was like the first debate, the guy was like, there's no evidence. And I'm like, no evidence? Yes, there is. There's actual reports on this.
There's video evidence, and there's actually a person who took part in the actual fraud itself, openly saying, "Yeah, she paid me like $800 to do it, and I did it."
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, do you need any more proof in that point? Come on. But anyways,
But yeah, so physical polling locations. What are your thoughts?
I mean, it never really occurred to me because thinking for myself, okay, I already did my part, but I guess for other people trying to go out to the polls, I can actually maybe see a couple agitators probably just hunkering around.
Because remember, in 2016, there were a couple occasions where the Black Panthers showed up at polling places.
Did it? Weren't the Black Panthers started by Malcolm X? Something like that?
I don't know who started them. All I know is
because I remember Malcolm X in one interview saying, pretty much just denouncing the white liberal. Telling his fellow brethren to watch out for the white liberal because they may act like your friend, but they don't have the best interest looking out for you.
Yeah.
Even though you don't see it.
It's not possible that he started them. All I know is that they're a racist group, except they're blacks.
But they're not racist because they're black.
Yeah, well, of course. Because no other ethnicity can be racist except white people.
I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if, didn't the Black Panthers pretty much integrate with BLM at this point? Or are they still an independent group? Because I'm not really 100% sure yet.
Well, of course they're an independent group, but they do team up with BLM.
I love that movie. It's a good movie.
No prequel.
I know. Honestly, it's a little sad.
I know. He didn't seem like a douche of a dude, but it was a crap movie. So on that note, I'm happy that there's not going to be...
I mean, the premise is kind of retarded.
The premise is retarded. Even the design of Black Panther is not cool. It's like a straight rip of Batman and
or Batman Beyond mainly. Batman, Spawn, a little bit of Spawn.
I feel like
Daredevil.
Yeah. Oh, Daredevil for sure.
Well, Daredevil is owned by Marvel, so I guess.
Of course.
But he's white, so he's irrelevant.
Yeah. Blind guy, irrelevant because he's white.
Did you see the new issue of Daredevil? They renamed the comic to White Devil.
No, they didn't.
It's a joke.
You piece of crap. Okay. Listen, it's hard to tell when Jan's joking because he's always a bit of a prick, but I honestly would have believed that. Given the current circumstances.
You know what? The scary thing is, I could see that.
Totally.
No longer the Daredevil. Now he's the White Devil. And he doesn't use a cane. he uses a police baton and
I
beats
was gonna
his
say
victims
whip,
to
but
death.
Okay, that works too.
Uh,
Anyways,
Black Panther's greatest nemesis, the White Devil.
I think. What are we at?
Just fucking go.
What-
It's whiskey time.
What is? I want to know the time. Okay.
Why do you know it's?
Because if I know the time, then I can start to.
Oh shit! I didn't even hit record.
He's funny. Right?
I'm joking.
Okay, you piece of shit. And with that, it's time for Whiskey Corner. I don't know why that came out that way. It's time for Whiskey Time. Should be Whiskey Time or Whiskey Corner?
We're not in a corner, so I guess whiskey time works.
But it's a corner of time.
No.
No? Okay.
Whiskey corner. Whatever.
Whiskey segment.
The whiskey segment of the podcast. There.
That's too much.
Or we can call it. We can call it Dead Lemon.
Oh yeah. Hold on. We're drinking Ohishi whiskey. This is a 41.4% alcohol. Ile cask finish, distilled from rice. Jeez.
It really doesn't sound pleasant, but
No, you've had two of these types of whiskeys, and you actually enjoyed them a lot. So I think you might like this one. I don't know because we've never had this one.
China.
Distilled from malted and unmalted rice and fermented with the groundwater of the Kuma
Almost
riverbed.
sounds like coom.
Coom. Fermented with coom water.
When they say was it the river of Kuma? Is that what they said?
Fermented with the groundwater of the Kuma riverbed.
How do we know it's not just some random weebs just like soggy laundry? Whiskey time.
Whiskey time. Come
All right. Yeah, wow.
Ooh, very weird flavor. Smooth-ish. A little bit of a burn. Still, anything beats freaking Home Depot wood section whiskey.
Oh, the Kamiki?
No, it wasn't. Yeah, Kamiki. The good one was Umiki.
Pretty sure made by the same company.
Yeah. Not a favorite, but it's good. It's
Oh, there's like that rice aftertaste.
Mm-hmm. Got a bit of a rice aftertaste. Kind of sweet, not terribly sweet, especially if you compare it to something like freaking Glenfiddich. Has a weird flavor. I don't know if that's coming from the wood. It doesn't really. It might. It just might be because I don't even know what Ile cask finish is.
Do you feel like every single Japanese distillery at this point is just trying to hype on the...
No.
Or...
Japanese people don't do that. Chinese people do.
Chinese whiskey? I don't think I've ever heard of a Chinese whiskey.
I wouldn't
brand.
want to. I wouldn't trust it.
Wuhan.
This one is aged in the Wuhan cask. Don't worry. It's different cask than we transport the bat in. It's okay.
Probably bad idea to name whiskey bat.
This is the cough whiskey.
Yeah, I like
It's not bad. It's definitely different compared to all the other ones that we've had. It's a very different flavor.
I mean,
But again, that might just come from the cask. But it is pleasant. I really do.
So the longer it's in the cask itself, it has a sweeter taste. Is that how that works?
No, we already talked about this, Jan.
I forgot.
Also, this one doesn't say anything about being aged, so it's probably not.
Just straight.
Well, it's got to be aged probably, but it's going to be minimum.
Well,
So
it had the Total Wine recommended sticker on it, and that's why I
it did.
grabbed
But
it.
this is not the one that we wanted.
No, they didn't have the one we wanted.
Yeah, we wanted the port. But anyways, how much was this?
With tax, like 85 something.
85 something?
Yeah.
I could see myself maybe buying it again, maybe one time, but I don't know. For the price, I feel like it was an interesting. It's not bad, but not a favorite. But that is just me. I don't know.
Maybe it'll grow on me. I mean, I only, like just like the other ones we've had. That first sip was like,
Yeah. As you
this
continue
sucks
to,
ass, and then okay, all right, it's growing on me now.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need a
The
couple
only one
more
that
sips.
didn't work with was the Kamiki.
Well, we tried. We kept trying.
Kept trying, and then we added freaking ice, and that didn't work.
Kind of
and
fixed it a little bit, but then we were just drinking like just diluted whiskey at that point. And,
yeah.
and for the price that we paid for the Kamiki, I'm a little bit disappointed.
Very disappointed. But then again, we got R mode on that one, so.
It's growing on me.
Yeah?
It's growing on me.
I'll try it one more time.
It gets smoother the more you drink it.
Yeah, it is pleasant. Like I said, I can see myself buying it again.
I just really like rice, maybe.
I wonder why.
I like it. Yeah, not bad.
But I don't know.
Not bad at all.
I would prefer to find it for something cheaper.
Yeah, maybe the price was a bit too hefty, but that's the case with exclusively at Total Wine and More.
Total Wine and give us your freaking soul.
Well, today was a little bit different. We didn't see the regular.
We sneakied it.
Well, I guess. But even then, you probably
I would still have to probably show the ID.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah. But then,
but I probably could have stayed in the car and not have worried about being KJB.
Yeah, because they didn't give a shit. Actually, the funny thing is, when I walked in, like no one even paid attention to me walking in. So you probably could have walked in with me and realized you weren't just there for.
Yeah. Now we know.
Yeah. But that was just that one, just today though, because I don't know. Next time they could be back.
Yeah. True.
Anyways, so that was Whiskey Corner, or we can call it Dead Lemon Drinks.
No, too many dead lemons. You don't have to throw our name on everything.
Dead lemons has been taken before.
Yes.
Like, when I looked online,
but here's the thing. I have evidence of having that name long before any of these people. This goes all the way back to like 3rd or 4th grade for me.
I guess.
So everybody step off.
Beats using my name. The Exiled.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty
It's still my name till now.
It's so weird how you and a lot of other people apparently use the same username for like almost everything.
Well, not
online.
Currently, no, not everything online.
Almost.
I've actually used my real name for important stuff.
Well, yeah, obviously important stuff, but like things like gaming or just random.
No, in my EA account it's different, and my Blizzard account.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I have General for my Blizzard because I'm a fan of that Wolf Brigade shit. One of probably my top 3 anime movies, I'd say. And then the other one was, I think I named myself after that player from Street Fighter and Evo, Daigo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
My name was taken. I tried typing Exile in different ways. I'm like, every combination's taken? So I'm like, what username do I use? I just remember watching that clip from Street Fighter. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just take his name.
Yeah, that's why you got to come up with unique names. Like, names that people wouldn't ever think, It's good to be messed up in the mind a little bit.
I mean, I don't really think about my name too much.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it's a name that I got from a comic book I read as a kid. That's why I stuck with it.
It sounds pretty gay.
Yeah. All right, well, another thing. Oh, did you catch what, well, this was told by the lady, but Governor Newsom's new mask policy. Did you catch that one?
New mask policy? No.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
So, apparently he wants you wearing a mask even while you're eating.
Excuse me, what?
Mm-hmm. Meaning, if you do decide to drink, he prefers you drink with a straw with your mask over the straw. And if you do decide to eat, you, during, I guess, the action of masticating or taking a bite, you remove your mask, take a bite, and then put your mask back on. Did you find any information on it?
I'm currently looking that up right now because that seems extraordinarily stupid.
But with our governor, anything he sends, any policy he seems to put out.
And that was just recent?
This was this week. Now, you can fact check me, but this is an article that was sent to me. Or it could be an Onion article. I don't know.
It's gotta be because so far, nothing's coming up. Everything goes back to about June.
Really? Yeah, I found it right here.
You did where?
Yeah. Just type in... Well... Here, it says California Governor Office tells diners to wear masks in between bites. This is CBS News.
Why are people so... Still, to this day, why are so many people dumb? Okay, why don't they see this bullcrap?
I'll read this quote. The California Governor's Office put out a tweet on Saturday advising that restaurant goers keep their mask on while dining. Going out to eat with members of your household this weekend, the tweet reads, "Don't forget to keep your mask on in between bites. Do your part to keep this keep those around you healthy. And this is straight from the governor's office.
This is just stupid now. Well, it's been stupid for a while.
I mean, hey man, it's
I guess this is good that you brought this up because we kind of get to touch the whole mask thing
again.
No, not again, because remember that was on that one podcast that we had to scrap because it was just absolute garbage.
Okay.
So everybody's dumb, basically. That's the general thing.
That's where you were leading on to?
No, but because you have people who believe that wearing a mask will protect you 100%. That's what you need to do. You need to wear a mask all the time.
Mask works.
Exactly.
Mask is to keep you from getting someone else sick.
But also, yeah, it's also a precautionary, not a foolproof thing.
Unless you wear mesh mask, then you're completely safe.
No. Anything that can leave your mouth, ultimately...
It's a fucking joke, man.
Okay, well... I don't know with you! Too many jokes. Anyways...
mesh mask? It's the one with the nets.
Oh, jeez.
Like, for the people that can't breathe, so that's like their best option. Is like, well, you can't breathe, buy a mesh net mask.
And then you have other people on the other end of the spectrum who think that wearing a mask is somehow dangerous to your health and is going to make it worse.
I mean, to an extent, yes, if you use the same mask over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But see, most of these people think that, it restricts your breathing and that's messing up your body and you're not going to be able to, get enough oxygen and you're going to die.
How about you work in a hospital and wear an N95 and
Exactly.
you tell me about fucking breathing?
It's ridiculous. So, like, either end of the spectrum, you're an idiot. You got to understand, okay, masks are used as a precautionary. They don't protect you 100%, but they are effective in restricting a certain amount of particles and all that kind of crap, both in and out, mind you.
The spread of the Wuhan virus.
But at the end of the day, too, what I think, you got to be in the middle. And the reality that the government is enforcing these things is a bit ridiculous. Especially because there's a bunch of science out there that shows, hey, who's able to contract it, what the percentage is as far as the likeliness of you getting it in certain areas around certain people.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, well, you got to wear a mask while you're at home with your family. That's stupid. No, you don't. There is a certain amount of immuneness that a family has because all your own junk. Now, if you have a family member that literally just came back from a, COVID-19 ward where, it's all nastiness all the time, yeah, it might be a good bet to maybe wear a mask around even your loved ones for at least a week or two, just to make sure. But even then, it's not it doesn't make sense. And then this whole thing about going and freaking wearing a mask in between bites, what the hell is that? That doesn't make, how does that make sense? As soon as you lift that mask, you have done exactly what people are saying is bad, is going to happen. You allow just because you put the mask back on doesn't mean, okay, everything's safe again. No, the particles have left your mouth. They're there now, It's just, it hurts my brain. I don't understand why people buy this bullcrap. Again, going back to whether or not...
There's a reason why we coined the term sheeple.
Well, yeah.
Believe whatever your overlords and your masters of media and propaganda tell you. They are the truth givers. Yeah. Everything they say is word in the Bible.
They're not fearmongers. They're just telling you the truth, everybody. Oh, God. It's just stupid, Again,
but
there are two ends of the spectrum. But people who believe that the COVID thing doesn't even exist, and people who think that it's going to be the end of the world.
That's also another level of stupidity.
Right. Both ends. If you think it's the end of the world, you're an idiot. If you think it doesn't exist, you're also an idiot. But understand, people, even in the professional realm of things, whether it be scientists or biologists or whatever, even in the professional realm, you have disagreements. You have theories and then other theories from another professional that contradicts that theory. You're only hearing one side of it. Okay, you're hearing the side that the freaking media and people who control the media want you to hear. Okay, but if all you have to do is do a little bit of searching, you might have to go past the first page of Google, because that is so hard to do. But the information is there. You can look at this stuff yourself. all of the reports, all of the findings, all of the experiments, all of the everything. And if you do that, put a little bit of effort into finding out, both sides, then use a little bit of common sense, you should come out with a pretty good head on your shoulders, and
easier said than done, my friend.
well, apparently, I don't know. Like, for instance, you're not the and this is gonna sound kind of rude.
What?
You're not the most intelligent person who's ever walked this planet.
I get that.
And neither am I. But we can get it. We can understand it. So we're both kind of sort of in medical realms. I'm laboratory. You're, not that.
A combination of things.
Yeah, a combination of things. But you're more, hospital-wise than I am. I'm kind of off in the lab.
Yeah.
But, and so both of us, we're seeing it from a completely different perspective than most people in the general public do.
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, hey, that doesn't add up with what we're being fed. Neither does that. And we could put pieces of stuff together. But the thing that's crazy to me is that you actually still, to this day, have people in the medical field who, even though they're seeing all of these inconsistencies, they're still buying the BS. Those people, I feel like I don't even understand how that kind of mentality works.
They probably work graveyard.
Yeah, damn, that's harsh. But yeah.
That's a joke. No, the thing is, here's the thing. Intelligence is a very rudimentary, generic term, I'd call it. Yeah, there's people in their respected fields who I believe are the best at it, and they have a plethora of information and whatever training they have to give, but they refuse to see outside of that spectrum, and that's where I can see where they believe whatever the media tells them. Because I hear it, like, you guys are great at what you do, but if you don't have the time or you don't choose to be a truth seeker, then you're obviously just going to take in whatever the media feeds you or whatever information given to you, even though right there in front of you, the numbers, the facts, they just don't add up.
No.
I mean, like, I go to certain places, COVID areas, whatever, and it's empty. There's maybe 2 or 3 patients in there. I'm just like, where are they getting these inflated numbers from? But, it could just be my hospital, maybe a different hospital.
No, well, that's the thing. You're not the only person I know who's told me the same thing. And I know people in other states who have said similar stuff. And that's why I feel like it's kind of funny. Last week, during the South Park pandemic special, I thought it was actually pretty interesting, and I was actually kind of proud of them for adding in that little segment where the cops shoot the black kid and
shoot Token,
and they say, oh, he went to the hospital for COVID related reasons, and then the kids are like, we saw you shoot him, and he goes, and he basically explains how if it wasn't for COVID-19 they wouldn't have had to shoot him, and whatever. So it's COVID related, and that's actually like a thing that's been happening since day one. Number one, the federal incentive that they were giving out to hospitals or whatever for every COVID patient that was diagnosed, people take advantage of that. It was meant to try to keep, those essential workers to keep coming back to work, because obviously you say, ooh, big scary pandemic, most people are going to be like, hey, maybe I don't want to work in the hospital right now because I don't want to get sick.
Yeah.
So you put a big money incentive, and then you're going to get people to come there. But you're also going to get people who are going to freaking abuse that. They're going to be like, oh, you have COVID-related symptoms or COVID-like symptoms.
Let's get another big paycheck.
Yeah. And that's the thing. So the numbers have been grossly exaggerated because of false diagnosis. And even people who die, like in old folks' homes and stuff like that, they're writing them off as COVID victims just because, oh, it's COVID, without actually doing an autopsy, without actually making sure that it actually was COVID. And so that's the thing. Are people dying from it? Yes. Are people getting infected with it? Yes. But are the numbers honest?
The severity goes up as the age group that you're in goes up.
Yeah.
So the older you are, the more
or unless you have
conditions.
An innate issue with your
underlying conditions you seem to have, then you're more likely to die from it, but doesn't necessarily mean you died from it.
Exactly.
It's just you just happen to have it when you died.
Oh, he had a cough before he died. Must have been COVID.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
It's just ridiculous.
Because I did have a growing sense of anxiety, going back to the hospital about it, but Like, it just doesn't seem to just bother me. I mean, mind you, I still do my precautions, PPEs, and clean everything up after, but just going to the floors and seeing just an empty room, several empty rooms, and maybe a couple of rooms that are occupied by 1 or 2 patients, it's alarming.
Yeah.
So,
and it also helps, too, that both you and I probably got it a while back ago.
It's
more than likely what that was, because
probably
I got hugely sick back in like January, February, and I usually when I get the flu, it lasts maybe 2-3 days, tops 4, and I don't really feel that miserable. I just feel kind of crap. But this thing was like, it lasted an entire month, and I was coughing, sinking fatigued, sore all over, and like coughing up stuff. It was not bueno. And then you had a little moment.
A 2 week. It was like 2 weeks long. Which is pretty long.
Yeah. So neither of us went to get checked, but the reality is it's not impossible. And if we did go get checked, it's not impossible too that they would have falsely diagnosed us if we didn't have it.
You get a lot of false positives.
Oh yeah, all the time. In the lab, we get false positives all the time.
Shit.
That's why we have to. That's because we keep.
Well, if you want to accurately see if you have COVID, just buy the new Apple Watch.
Is that seriously a thing?
No, it's a joke.
You stupid player.
No, I said it jokingly because, I was in Pasadena the other day, and of course, you see a line again in Apple, and you're like, oh shit, what are they releasing this time? I look it up myself. It's the new Apple Watch with the new red sensor. You know anything about the red sensor?
No, I don't follow anything Apple because I don't care about it.
It should be a little bit concerning because it can accurately tell you your current state of condition, meaning it takes your blood pressure, takes your pulse oximeter levels. It can do all that now, which I'm like, that's information I don't want to give.
Yeah, that's.
And it can probably diagnose COVID with the next update. Think you have COVID? Download the new update. Yeah. Apple will know.
That's a bit much. No thanks, I'm out. I'll stick with my Androids.
I mean, even then, like, it's interesting because like a lot of people in the hospital seem to be carrying the Apple Watch, and I'm always thinking to myself, I'm like, you don't need that much technology. Like, what are you actually doing with that type of hardware? You know what I mean? You don't need to constantly like monitor your health levels. It just causes.
That's not why I buy a watch.
Just to tell time. That's it.
Time. Hey, you wanna add some cool little features like, I don't know, I can watch YouTube on my watch. Cool. I'll buy that too. Yep. But I don't need to know freaking. Hey, it'll give you a rectal exam every 4 weeks. I don't need my watch to do that.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Too much technology. And
too much technology and too many freaking just mindless consumers that are gonna buy it up, which encourages that company to go further and do more. And
do more. Release the same shit with a new color.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying as far as like invading privacy. Do more in that regards.
I don't know.
Because every damn time, every and that's why we're here where we're at right now.
Too much information.
Yeah.
Too much information.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Too much false information. I mean, you go out in public now, no one seems to having.
We are in the day, in the age of the war of or the war on information. It's literally it's I can't even imagine.
Obedience to God. Was it the thing for InfoWars? Oh. Means tyranny to blah blah blah.
Yep.
This is Alex Joe.
What do I do, Lord? Destroy the child. Corrupt them all. This is their plan, people. These are demons. And buck the system and the group collective. Do that, and you'll earn your way to the next level. This is the Info War. I came knocking on your door 1,000,000 times, and you laughed at me. And more blood on the other side. Basically, space aliens. I'm an explorer. I'm a human, and I'm coming. And I'm not gonna go along with it. A Guterdumarong battle.
Good old Alex.
Anyways, yeah.
Alex, if you ever listen to this, I would love to have a beer with you one day. No cameras, no nothing. I want to have a conversation. I want to see where you're at. You're a very interesting individual.
He is. He really is.
Very.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on.
And if you know who QAnon is, yeah, bring him on along.
QAnon. Yeah, that's a touchy one. How much do you know about QAnon?
Honestly, I feel like the information I know about QAnon is like information I get from like the news, and all I hear from the news is he's a right-wing troll. That's all it is, and that's all I know about the guy.
It's
even if it is a guy or it's an entity, I don't know anymore. Because it's just
just a gay frog.
I don't know, because they botched 4chan because they thought 4chan was a fucking person last time.
Yep.
Who is this 4chan? Like,
it's like in Channel 4.
Jesus.
They there's one person called it Channel 4, and then also the hacker known as 4chan.
Oh my god.
Like, okay. Yeah, no, QAnon is a very interesting thing. It is so multi-layered that it's impossible to cover it all in
We'll
this
just generalize
thing.
it.
But
like, keep it concise.
popped up a few years ago. Don't remember if it started on 4chan or 8chan, but it was on both for a while.
It was a chan.
Yeah, one of the chans.
It was a chan at some point.
And it would post things and sometimes mostly in riddles. But with a lot of interesting stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to condense this. Basically, it is a legitimate thing that's happening. They've made predictions. They've told people what to look out for on the news and in certain political meetings and whatnot. And for the vast majority of the times, it's been correct, or they've been correct.
What's the biggest, prediction then?
Jeez, I don't know. I personally stopped following a long time ago, bro.
Well,
one of the most interesting
I only
things.
mention it because it is kind of relevant
of course,
of yesteryear.
One of the more interesting things to me was that they uploaded a PNG file picture, and if you know anything about PNGs, they have a lot more information as far as, when the photo was taken and stuff versus a JPEG, which can easily kind of lose that information. They uploaded a picture looking out of a plane window and over a cloudy city, but you could still see the city. And I forgot what the message was on that, but basically it was saying, how might have had something to do with how many coincidences does it take before you realize it's not a coincidence or something like that. Anyway, so people went into the PNG file. They got the time, the date, all that kind of stuff. And they then used the city layout to figure out what city it was looking at. Anyways, turned out that was the exact time, the exact place where Air Force One was flying over that city, which was in China at the time. I don't remember exactly which city it was, but...
So he's a white staff member, probably close to the president then.
Maybe, possibly, or the president himself. Who the hell knows? There's so many different theories on it that it's kind of difficult to follow. But it's obviously, that was pretty convincing,
Right.
And they've uploaded other pictures, prior that people were able to confirm, oh, that's this thing in the political area or this thing in Air Force One or in the Oval Office, a bunch of different things.
Okay, but QAnon as an entity then, what's the significance besides
the significance is that
he could be perhaps close to the president?
If he's close to the president, then a lot of the stuff that they're talking about has nothing to do with white supremacy, nothing at all.
Okay.
That is the mainstream media trying its scare tactics again to try to label everybody who doesn't believe the narrative.
The Communist News Network.
Yeah, whoever these people who believe otherwise, they're all crazy, insane people. But it's from what I've seen, QAnon tries to wake people up to the bigger things at hand, the people pulling the strings, the quote unquote pedophile rings, the people behind those rings. It's brought attention to a lot of different assassination situations like JFK, even the freaking really interesting information behind the people who were on both the Zeppelin and Titanic, making it seem like both of those tragedies back in the day were not on accident either. And when you look into...
That sounds a bit on the cuckoo side now.
It is a little bit on
Very
the cuckoo side. But if you actually look at the evidence that was provided, and you can cross-reference it with actual factual evidence as well.
Okay, name one significant piece of evidence then.
Well, I'm not a freaking encyclopedia. I don't remember this stuff.
Well, it'd be nice to know.
Well, again, you can look it all up. All I know is that, so on the Titanic, there were... has to do something with bankers at the time. There's huge bankers. And it might have had something to do with the World Bank. But again, I could be mistaken on that.
Of those people, I guess?
Yeah. People didn't want to do that. The wealthy at the time did not want to get and do this whole World Bank situation. And so the person who freaking owned the Titanic invited all of the heads of all of these companies and all these banks. They were all there. None of them made it back. Not a single one. Okay. Now that's just on like the most basic way, because again, I don't remember all the stuff. I got off of the QAnon quote unquote train just because I kind of don't care. Like, I care enough to be interested, but at the same time, like, the world's so freaking complicated enough already. And it's
interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a look. And again, it tries your ability to think. But there was that, and again, another very similar situation to the Zeppelin. Again, high profile people that were at the time engaged in some sort of contradictory belief to the very rich people who wanted to do something a certain way. Put them on this thing because, hey, it's only for rich and fancy people, and then oopsie, they all died. You know, that is a tactic that's used very often. Okay.
Now that's of the past. Like, how would you say they could be doing it now?
Well, now you got things like, I don't know,
the coronavirus.
Well, I was gonna say 9/11.
Also, that's pretty much just like Project Northwood at this point.
Exactly, and again, Project Northwoods is a public record event. It's not something that is theory. You know, you have the U.S. government at the time, though, to be fair, it was supposedly started up by the CIA and a branch of the military. I don't think it was all the military, but it was somebody.
The OSI, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know.
It was the precursor to the CIA, the OSI.
No. It was CIA back then. CIA was around. Yeah. But anyways, so basically, you know, this was during the Cold War. And
it's cold.
It's cold, man. Basically, they wanted to go to war with Cuba, whereas JFK didn't want to. He was actually, and it was kind of unknown to the majority of.
Did you find it kind of interesting? Like, for some reason, like, they would start releasing games based on that period of time, but it's kind of like a parody of itself with the whole Black Ops stuff. Like, it doesn't make you take it seriously.
Yeah.
But there's some truth under that.
Yeah. That's why gaming, it's very interesting. Certain media actually offers bits of truth, whether it be on purpose or an accident.
Oh, yeah.
But I do start to believe that, okay, is it really an accident? You know? Why they do that, I don't know. All I know is, going back to the point, so basically, you have these people who are like, hey, screw what the president wants.
People.
We need to go and get support from the people to go to war with Cuba. And there's a million reasons why they would want to go to war. Is that where the Oliver North
guy comes in?
No. But, yeah, so what do? They say, all right, we're going to either simulate or make it look like, and aka actually go through with it, a terrorist attack on either U.S. soil or at least U.S. citizens. So there was a bunch of different possibilities. One was flying planes into a building. The other one was hijacking planes. The other one was blowing up a cruise ship. The other one was, there's a bunch of different, I think not emailing, what do you call that?
What?
Just mailing, I guess.
Anthrax?
No, not anthrax. Just mailing like explosives to random houses and stuff.
I don't know if there's a term for that. I thought you meant the whole anthrax.
No. That was after
It was mailing
9/11.
anthrax.
But anyway, so, do all this stuff. It would terrify and anger the American people, and then the president would have no other option but to go to war with Cuba. Well, when JFK got wind of this, he shut down the project, and obviously people weren't happy about that. Who would be? You're going all this, through all this trouble to do something sketchy, and someone comes in and shuts you down. Of course you'd be a little bit angry, I would imagine. And shortly after, he's dead.
Yeah.
Which at the time, it was just a single gunman,
shooter,
blah, blah,
right?
blah.
That guy's really fucking accurate with a Lee Enfield, don't you think?
Exactly. And there's a bunch of stuff about the JFK assassination that doesn't add up with the official story. But that'll take forever. But the main thing, though, is that just recently, the last year or whatever, when the JFK files were quote-unquote declassified, though there was a ton of stuff that was redacted, nobody's talking about the fact that the one thing that wasn't redacted is a confirmation of multiple shooters. More than one shooter. So that's no longer a theory anymore. That is now public fact.
Yep.
But again, nobody's talking about that. That was quickly covered up. Everybody was all distraction. Hey, look at this thing. Nobody, don't look at the JFK files. So, anyways, the whole thing with conspiracy theories is, again, you're gonna have your crazies, and some crazies are natural crazies. They're just dumb people. But sometimes the crazy is kind of instigated by.
They're there for a reason.
Yeah.
The term was coined by the CIA, and you have a bunch of conspiracy agents just set out there to just put misinformation.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder what actually is truth at this point.
Mm-hmm. But see, sitting in on your freaking couch or in your car listening to crap on the radio or whatever, is not going to make you the freaking Sherlock Holmes of knowledge. You actually have to.
It makes you the Enola Holmes of knowledge.
People, always want to walk around acting like they know everything, that they are a freaking scholar when it comes to everything political or societal. When they've done actual no footwork for themselves to actually double check, to cross reference, to make sure that what they're barfing out to the people around them is actually true. And that's the whole thing. Very few things are ever black and white.
They're just black.
And then you shoot them. But, what is it saying? Only a Sith deals the absolute.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
Yeah. So, if
I'd still be a Sith Lord, honestly. That's pretty cool.
I'd be a Sith Lord if I could have both Padme and Princess Leia.
It always goes back to pussy, doesn't it?
The booze. Hey, man. You can't deny.
What?
At least Princess Leia. You can't deny Princess Leia.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
All right.
Yeah.
Padme too, maybe? Minus her acting?
I guess.
Okay,
yeah.
all right. See, we're on the same page.
I guess.
Anyways, point is, it is so terribly important to not jump on a bandwagon. Part of the reason why I got off the whole QAnon thing is I got sick and tired of... So this guy's... Whoever this person is, has been posting stuff that is truthful, accurate, can be cross-refereforced.
Now, how do we know this is really QAnon, though?
So on the chans, you can give yourself, I forget what it's called, but basically an ID tag. So you're still anonymous, but now it knows who's posting, and that way it'll give you a name all the time. I don't remember exactly how that works, but basically it's the right ID. And so this person is still posting stuff or whatever under the same ID tag. But yeah, a lot of people, they because he does post things in questions and almost riddles, which makes sense when you're...
What is he, the fucking Riddler from Batman games?
Hey,
asshole, why do you have 400 trophies around the city?
Why specifically Oh. Okay, that's why it was specifically Batman games, yeah.
Because that fucking douchebag.
Yeah. I don't know.
Riddle me this.
The Shadow Realm is a very weird place.
Riddle me this, liberals.
Yeah.
If there's any proof there's a deep state or shadow governments going on, now's a good time to...
Oh, yeah. And the reality is people are starting to wake up to that reality.
Oh, yeah.
But, again, have no way of proving whether it's the majority of people or not. I don't know. It seems like the majority of people are waking up, but I could be wrong. We live in a state where it's ridiculously liberal, so it's really hard to tell, you know. But all I know is this. For me, I got off the QAnon thing because too many people who believed in this stuff started going a little too far. Like, believing in number codes and symbol codes and stuff, which are legitimate things that do exist in the real life. But exist. The issue is, unless you're a part of that actual society or whatever, you can't say for sure that you're translating it correctly. Yeah. Because the human mind naturally wants to find patterns. Answers, yeah. And so if you try hard enough, you're going to find a pattern. The issue with that is, though, oftentimes you're mistaken.
Oh, yeah, you know? That's true.
So with things like, the number 17 or whatever, which is significant in a lot of ways.
Which is funny, because remember when I said about the whole parodying the whole situation with black operations or the secret shadow government. Do you remember the part in Call of Duty? What do the numbers mean, Mason?
Yep.
What do the numbers mean? And it's just 69 just pop in your face constantly.
Have you ever came across a number station?
Oh, yeah, I have. It's kind of creepy.
They're very interesting.
It's really creepy.
I've come across probably a handful in my lifetime.
Where did you, on the radio? Or
on the radio, probably 2 or 3 times on accident. And then the rest of the time, I looked for them on purpose off of a... there's like this radio thing online.
Do you remember the Xbox service? Okay, did you ever have an Xbox? Just a 360?
Of course. I had the original, the 360.
Do you remember the app? I think it was Last FM or something. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah. Last FM, of course.
And it would just play random music.
Yeah.
There was if I recall, it was the 000 point something channel that they had. And it was just a sequence of numbers that just play. Like just 1, 4. And I don't know if it was like a test or anything. I just remember coming across
those are almost always espionage.
You think
almost always, yeah. Because I've come across some in freaking Russian. I've come across some in Chinese.
Vodka.
Vodka. Potatoes.
Vodka, potatoes.
Simichki.
Orange chicken.
China. 1. China number 1.
Combo 2. 1. Wuhan. Tencent.
She chicken.
Duck.
But yeah, no, they are very interesting and a bit spooky because the reality is those numbers translate into something very meaningful to somebody out there. But unless you know exactly what that translation is, you're not going to get it, you know?
People will try to figure it out.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. So even if the numbers and symbols that they're seeing are actually meant to be translated, the likelihood of you, just a random couch warrior, being able to
I am guilty of being a couch warrior, though.
Well, you know, a lot of us are, but it's going to the point where you're like, oh, okay, this is 100% what it means. It's like, well, maybe don't be that confident, you know. Draw your conclusions, do your homework and stuff, and you know, be like, hey, I think this is what it means. That's fine. But when you're like, hey, no, this is exactly what it means. This is exactly what's going to happen. When it doesn't turn out, well, now you look like the fool, and you've lost any future reliability when it comes to these type of sensitive things.
Anything credible, yeah.
You know, so
I mean,
that's why for me, like I said, I jumped off because it gets annoying after a while.
But it's just crazy, man. The world we live in, it's like it gives you a migraine sometimes in trying to find what's reliable, what's good source of information, and knowing whether or not you're being distracted by the carnal pleasures that's being dangled in front of you. Like, don't get me wrong, I get into like deep holes about stupid shit like cars and guns and all that stuff. But in the long run, and this is just the cynical side of me just talking now, because I feel like I'm more cynical than probably the average person. I get into really weird, dark places where I say to myself, anything that I'm doing, is it really worth it in the end? Because I'm just going to be a speck of dust at some point. Like, buying this information consuming this, going to the next promotion in my job. Like, what the fuck is it all for?
It is.
And that's the hole I seem to be digging myself in. And I'm not always constantly thinking that way. It just happens on occasion. But, you know, like, life sucks, man. Sometimes. Sometimes.
Preach it, brother.
Yep.
Nah.
Life sucks. Well, no, it doesn't completely suck. There's beauty.
No, of course.
There's beauty in the world.
It's fun to say that it sucks because, to be honest, it does.
That's what every
but
faggot says. That's
there
why.
is something beautiful to it. Obviously, there's the no does, like being in a relationship or getting married or having a kid and blah, blah, blah. But even in the suckiness, there's a certain amount of beauty, which is the human attribute of persistence.
It's interesting because they did a study. I know this is kind of irrelevant probably now, but like you find the happiest people in the most remote part of the world.
Oh yeah,
Like living out on some random island and just having the bare basics. Just you have nature, you have the food already there. You go out and catch it, and you just go back to your hut, cook it, and then they just seem satisfied with their life because that's their bubble. But like where we're at in the modern
Hey, get open.
I know. Where we at? Where we at? No. Where we stand, it's in the urban jungle. We have technology. We have this and that side, right side, left side, just pointing the fingers constantly. An abundance of consumer information and things to buy and what to do with your life. And pretty much everyone telling you have to do this, this, and this to be happy. And it just doesn't vibe with me, and it gives me a headache sometimes, man.
Yeah.
And that's just the privilege talking, maybe.
No, it's a reality, and there's a lot of people that think the same way.
Yeah.
Some of us are
It's
a
carnal
little
pleasures,
less,
people. Like, it's not important.
Yeah, no.
It's fun.
With things
don't
like,
get me wrong.
like even like what do you call that? Social networking apps.
I'm off of that shit, so don't even.
Social media. There you go.
I have nothing to say about that. I'm off.
There's a lot of people who see the benefit in it, and to be fair, there is a lot of benefit to social media.
Yeah, if you want to market something, for sure.
Or staying in touch with people they haven't seen in a long time. They're like super far away.
Nah, it's important for
you
me,
don't care about people. That doesn't count for you. But, for some people, they like to stay in touch.
China.
But the reality is, though, it is doing a lot more harm than it is good.
That's true. Like,
being over-connected is
causing
destroying,
a disconnection.
Yeah. And it's destroying society.
I mean, like something I noticed on Wednesday when I went out. Not Wednesday's Wednesday. On Tuesday when I went out with dinner with the lady, and I'm glad we think on the same wavelength. But like, we sat there and we looked around, and every other couple were eating in Old Town Pasadena, some random sushi place, and we were the only two people actually having a conversation. Everyone was on their phones, and I'm just like, it's kind of scary that we're going in this direction.
Yeah.
That like. You would choose to stare at a screen with information and whatever. You're probably texting someone and having a conversation.
Or just scrolling through freaking Instagram, looking at people's lives who have better lives than you do, or faking to have better lives.
I wish I.
Did you see that
I can't
thing?
even figure out what I wanted.
You see that little thing that came out? That apparently a lot of these Instagram models, they just found or exposed a lot of their photos to be taken at this place. A lot of it is in like LA and stuff, but they have a few others in other states.
Let me guess, is photoshopped?
No, it's just it looks like they're on a private jet, but it's a set.
Oh.
So you have a lot of these people posting pictures of like
surprised.
themselves, like, oh, living the high life, blah blah blah, whatever, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same exact set from this studio
other
over
picture.
here. Yeah. And so they got found out, and a bunch of them, I guess like had to recaption their photos taken at a set. Like it's just so dumb. How
Dopamine.
a lot of people.
It's a shot of dopamine.
Is it though? Is that what gives them a shot of dopamine? That seems pretty lame.
I mean, likes, I guess. I mean, it's
Maybe.
It's scientifically proven that getting, it's a form of affirmation. It's like, oh, what I'm doing means something, and the likes is causing a shot of dopamine. You're pretty much a crack addict.
Speaking of which,
what?
If you, as a listener, would like to give both Jen and I a shot of dopamine each, we would really appreciate it if you would like, maybe comment if you feel like it,
What a fucking loser.
and subscribe.
that
way we can get all the dopamine we need.
There's a reason why you and I both decided day one not to use Twitter
I
and
know.
social media to promote this.
I know.
We're doing this the old natural way.
To be fair, though, I did start a Twitter, and I just put out one tweet, and it was like, I forgot what I said, but basically something like, hey, we're making a thing. If you like whiskey and stuff, come visit us. And that's it.
You didn't run that through me?
No, that was a long time ago.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure no one cares.
No, they probably don't. I haven't been on that Twitter in ages.
No, but you know what? We're doing it the old-fashioned YouTube way. Just posting videos, not really looking for anything, and I'm good with that. The old West. I don't know. I don't want to post on social media.
But we're posting on social media.
Well, YouTube is the platform to post.
But it's social media.
I'm talking about other ways of sharing,
Okay,
like
all right.
Facebook or Twitter. We both chose not to do that, unless you want to seem like you want to do that.
Well, we both chose for the time being. It's not important.
No, it's not.
You know. Now, later on during the, if things start to kind of pick up, it might become important because then we have to look at it as a business. But
episode 1, huh?
episode 1, baby. Hey, I told you, don't burn bridges.
I didn't burn no bridge. Wow, I'm really
You
saying
said,
the same thing.
what bridges can be burned if there are no bridges to begin with, or something like that.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. No, but in reality, though, it's important to number one.
Ultimately, let's
Okay.
the bare bones is the whole point of this podcast is, but besides the fact that it's just two guys talking, talking about points that you and I
Sometimes
both
3,
have.
but that we've only had one of those so far.
I mean, they can always invite someone else. I was about
We're
to
supposed to
invite.
do one with Sean.
I
Nah.
don't know. I didn't even hit him up at all, so it's my bad. Well, we'll see. And he just name dropped, so fuck off.
Sean. No one knows Sean.
That's a very common name.
Exactly.
Well, like I said, for me, the whole point of this conversation is to reach out a group of like-minded individuals that, if they seem to have the same mindset as us, great. Let's have a topic of conversation. And maybe one day we'll get you on the podcast. I don't mind meeting a random a little bit of a mind. Depends.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a stranger that we can vet, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we've met plenty of strangers that we get along with just fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, there's a lot of weird ones out there. So.
Oh, yeah, well, unfortunately, I've seemed to befriend the weird ones. Talking about you, loser.
Aww.
Which one?
Is that to your girlfriend?
No, not her.
Oh.
No! Not talking about my girlfriend. Talking about the fucking weirdo we used to drink with.
Tommy?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Tommy's chill.
No, but the other guy. Looking at you, Josiah.
Frank? Oh, Josiah. Those are some stories we should get into, but we're going to keep that for a topic-specific podcast.
If you want... Okay, we'll get to that in another episode,
Yes.
but if you want the definition of the typical California liberal prick loser, then we will get to that.
Oh, sweet Josiah.
Oh, God. I can't believe he's like 3 times my age and he acts like that.
Yep.
It's just baffling.
It's amazing.
Age
Anyways.
is just a number, my friends. Remember that.
That sounds like pedo encouragement.
Okay, that you're just putting in a really dark place right now. I'm talking about age is not a warrant for your knowledge or your mentality, because that guy thought he was really intelligent, but he said a lot of stupid things.
And he was tiny.
Little guy syndrome, am I right?
Yep.
Do you remember the concert at Baby Metal? Okay, we'll end with this one. So, do you remember Baby Metal?
Yes, of course.
Fucking tiny
Great
guy.
concert.
I don't know if those were his friends or if he was by himself, but that tiny little guy had a serious case of little guy syndrome.
Oh yeah,
Like,
I've seen
he was
that
trying to pick-
multiple times.
Like,
at
what's up with
concerts.
little guys trying to find? I'm a little guy.
All right. Anime Expo. A year or two ago, because I went to not the anime because it's been like 3 years or whatever that I haven't gone, but there was going to be a few Japanese DJs that I like or whatever, so I'm like, oh, I'll go to that little concert at this club.
DJ Kamikaze, what?
You're dead now, me too.
His shtick is to blow up.
But anyways, so I'm there. It's freaking amazing. Everything's chill. I'm making my way towards the front, every other song or whatever, just to get closer, because the DJ that I really, really like was coming up next. Finally get like a line behind, or a row behind the stage, and having a great time. Everything's fantastic. All of a sudden, I'm noticing this couple, kind of like to the left of me, but pretty close to right in front of me. Enjoying themselves, not going too crazy, but obviously they're a cutesy couple and whatnot. And I think they're an Asian couple, to be fair. I don't know what kind of Asians though. But the guy was like a dark-skinned Asian, shorter than me, but not by much. a guy who is shorter than even he is, because I'm like 5'11". That guy with his girlfriend was probably maybe 5'8" or something, so a little bit shorter. But anyways, a guy shorter than even he was pushes through the crowd to get to the front. Typical rave fag look, you know, and just starts going all crazy and like by himself. Almost everybody towards the front of the stage was actually pretty chill. Like no one was going too crazy. You know, moving to the music a little bit, but no jumping around and pushing people and stuff. Well, this guy who pushes himself through the crowd, he pushes himself through the crowd, is like right up on this dude's girlfriend.
Like just like grinding on her?
Not grinding on her, just like, but like obviously. No, not hitting her, but like just jumping up and kind of like pushing into them every now and then. Yeah, bumping in.
Okay.
And the boyfriend, you know, looks back a couple times and is like obviously annoyed, and then he looks over at. I couldn't hear what he said because it's loud, obviously, but he tells the guy something, and the guy backs off for like a quick second, and then goes like, "What?" or whatever, and so he's like starts doing it again or whatever, you know, bumping into them again. And then the boyfriend just finally looks over and starts yelling at him, like calling him an asshole and all this kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
And then obviously the rave fag, you know, is like starting to get in his face and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing anything, man. I'm just trying to enjoy myself, blah, 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 you know, blah, blah, blah. You have to be such a dick. And going back and forth, and I can see the frustration in this Asian dude's eyes. Like, what the hell? How did this even happen? I'm just here trying to enjoy this shit with my girlfriend. You're being a dick. And I just try to ask you, please stop doing that. You're bumping into my girl, and all of a sudden, I'm the bad guy, you know. So
it's not victimhood.
Yeah, and this rave dude is like completely just getting belligerent at this point. And so I legit came over and I grabbed the dude because he was wearing one of those super gay little tiny backpacks.
Uh-huh.
So I grabbed him by the backpack and I gave him a what's for, like. Not going to go into it because I'm not going to try to make myself seem anything interesting. But, you know, basically gave him like the, yo, you're being unreasonable. This is the dude's girlfriend. You're obviously making her uncomfortable. The boyfriend is doing his job, making sure that she's not uncomfortable. They were here for the longest time before you showed up. You showed up and started being a dick. People don't like that. He's like, yeah, it's a concert, man. If you don't like concerts, you should be here. I'm like, you're the only one being a dick. Okay, that doesn't stand. Like if we were at a metal concert and they were like trying to be all cutesy cuddly in like the mosh pit, yeah, they're stupid. Get out of the mosh pit. But that wasn't the situation. That wasn't the environment. But the guy was just absolutely. I finally was able to get him to go away. But yeah, little men. They're like little dogs, dude. They don't like they have to be noisy. They have to be prudes.
Yeah.
Because they have to make up for like the lack of height or something.
Which is weird because I'm short.
Yeah, well, you're not terribly short. I know many more Filipinos that are shorter than even you, but
I'm still considered a small guy though.
I guess to some people, yeah. Well, shit. If we were talking about that, I'm only 5'11". There's plenty of guys who are 6 feet. You know, technically, I'm a short guy to some girls.
Well, anyways, I'm a small dude, but I don't act like I don't have a small guy personality.
Yeah, which is fantastic. Don't have small guy personality. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not cool. Nobody likes you, Josiah.
Yeah.
Also, be mature and act your age.
Dude, that guy's probably out in the fucking protest right now. Knowing that guy.
I swear he probably is. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a part of Antifa.
At this point,
he seems like the kind of guy who has the attitude that would be like, "Yeah, I'm all about Antifa."
He dresses like Antifa.
No, he just dresses like a homosexual.
All black?
No, he does the whole freaking, you know, white, super deep V cut.
That I don't remember.
V-neck. Skinny jeans, gay little shoes, and very deep cut V-necks. And for those of you out there,
deep cut V-necks, yeah.
V-necks are okay.
We bumped into him at that bar. Do you remember that?
Oh, of course I remember. Again, these are stories for later. Okay.
No.
Or if you're all right now, if you want.
Okay, who cares? We're already here. Anyway.
All right. Well, where are we at?
113.
113. We got to be wrapping it up like.
All right. We'll finish with this one.
Okay.
But an important topic that he did mention. Yeah, little guy syndrome. That's a real thing.
It is. Yeah.
I unfortunately not surrounded myself. I was in the presence for a very brief time, in a very confusing time of my life.
I had just shown back up in your life, so,
Yeah.
you were lost and confused. I
was
get it.
very Yeah, dude, I don't see how a guy that's like twice my age acts like that. So,
Because he's like, what, 39, 40?
Oh, dude, he's like almost 50.
No.
I'm not kidding.
The dude don't look 50.
He is part Japanese. He's half Japanese.
That's such a shame.
It's a shame, indeed. Shame. Shame. No, dude, that guy was like, he was like 48 last time I talked to him. Last time he told me his age.
Yeah.
And to the reason I'm like, okay, this is kind of a red flag for me, but it should have been a red flag for me when he seems to pick a fucking fight with every rando at every fucking bar, even though it really means nothing. Like, the fact that you get annoyed by someone saying that, racism is a thing in Hawaii and all that stuff like that, or racism is a real thing, and then he's trying to push his agenda saying what I experienced and where I came from is not what you experienced. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. He didn't grow up where you grew up, so he's not gonna fucking understand that.
Yeah.
That's just a perspective you're not gonna change. Why can't you just fucking accept that?
Mm-hmm.
Even I saw that. I'm like, dude, I'm not gonna tell someone else like, oh, I grew up here. Oh, the life isn't like that. No one's all racist and shit like that. That's not what he fucking grew up with. You just gotta understand someone else's perspective instead of you constantly yelling, picking fights with random people, getting kicked out of bars, and
That was
pushing
such
the
a
agenda
terrible
down
night.
someone else's throat, man. Have you
first
not
night-
learned that yet?
The first night
I know,
that we
I
hung out
know.
as a trio
Oh, God.
and over there in
First
freaking Old
and,
Town
last,
Pasadena.
first and last time.
No, it wasn't.
Did we do it again after?
We did it again. Just not at a club. Remember? Little
right.
Tokyo.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
Anyways,
that. Anyways.
yeah, this guy, seems like a chill dude in the beginning.
At first, yeah, he was.
We're having a good time pre-gaming in the parking lot. Seems pretty legit. And we finally go to a club and doing club things. And he trying to like dance with a girl. She obviously didn't want it. And this guy comes over who, from what I
Boyfriend.
saw, it looked like a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And this little man decides to get all angry at this kid who's probably much younger than he is. And he's like telling him to back off, like, like I couldn't hear much of what was being said, but it sounded like, this is my lady, back
Which is
up,
completely within his realm of right.
And kudos on the lady, because she didn't want to do it. She was waiting for her boy to come back, so that's good. Anyways, so he gets all mad, starts shoving this guy, and the guy's like, what the hell? Like, leave me, So, but obviously, the little man's getting aggressive, so the guy shoves him back. His hat comes off, and he's like, "Well, get my hat down," blah, 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 and all this kind of crap. And, some shoving starts occurring, and immediately, I go over, and I grab him, and I'm like, knock it off, that's not cool. But at that time, then you get freaking security that's already coming over.
Yeah.
And so
I was in the bathroom, and then I walked out, I'm like, what?
yeah.
We're getting kicked out? What happened?
And so he got kicked out, and then we're standing outside trying to speak some reason to this leprechaun, and it's just not going through.
Yeah.
And he's consistently, and we're not even. I don't think any of us were messed up.
No,
as far as intoxication
I was
goes.
still sober as hell.
Now, again, he is related to Frodo Baggins, so maybe his little body couldn't take as much alcohol.
Don't even compare him to Frodo Baggins, because at least that guy saved Middle Earth.
It's pretty gay, though.
Frodo Baggins has more integrity than that.
Okay,
fucker.
Bilbo.
Even then,
Really?
I would compare him more to a Smeagol.
If you think about it, though, Schmeagol was kind of dope.
Fuck.
Freaking living off the land. Fist, something squished. All that stuff. Like, at least he did stuff.
I can't think of anyone. Just leave Lord of the Rings off the table.
All right, fair enough.
Because everyone has their quality in that fucking movie, okay?
Fair enough. Anyways, trying to speak to Marina, this guy. This guy's like, no, I'm gonna go back in there. I'm gonna beat the crap out of him. You guys just go have fun. I'm like, that is stupid and insane. Number one, you're trying to beat the crap out of someone and possibly go to jail for the most retarded reason I could ever think of.
That guy, that's probably his girlfriend, so he had every fucking right to do that.
Yeah.
I would do that.
She happily
Said no.
connected with this guy who showed up. And she also happily said no to you. So it's not like he stole her from you. She didn't want to dance with you in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, I was trying to talk to him, and he's like, forever kept trying to go back and forth. He's like, just go, whatever. But we ended up walking him down the street, and I kept blocking him from running back and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, it's time to chill. Just act your age, bro. Like, it's not cool that you're doing this. No one's gonna freaking respect you for doing it. You gain nothing out of it.
Yeah.
And it took forever, but we finally walked him all the way back to the train and made sure that he got on and got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
What happened after that? I don't know. But
we continued the night. You and
you and I connected.
You salvaged the night.
Yeah. But it's just so stupid to have that kind of mindset. Get mad for a good reason. I'm not saying you can't get mad as a human being.
Yeah. It's part of the human.
I'm human and I'm mad. Go for it, but not for something.
My heart's big.
Pumps blood. But
I like to eat. I like to fuck.
But let it be for a good reason, not for some childish bull crap. Don't do that. No one cares.
So whenever someone tells you, good folks, and this is going to be a long episode because we're hitting good points.
A little bit
here.
longer, yeah.
It's our 11th episode. It has meaning.
Oh!
Yeah. Anyways, back to it, fellas.
Doubles.
Girls. What'd you say?
I said doubles.
Oh yeah, doubles, deuces.
Deuces.
Age does not mean anything. Age does not mean wisdom. Because guess what? You know what? The funny thing is, did I tell you I met this guy prerequisites to my program? How fucking horrible would it be if this guy happened to be in the field that I'm in?
Well, there would have been no way.
Oh, hell no.
He doesn't have any self-control or commitment.
For a guy who claims he's intelligent, I can't believe he couldn't get past basic medical terminology like I did. Mm-hmm. I'm like, how the fuck do you fail this? Mm-hmm. And this is where I feel like I wasted time, and like I said, I was lost. I tried to help him through those classes and tutor him, but he just wasn't taking it. Maybe it was just my age, but I started to notice that you've mentioned it. Whenever I try to, tutor him or try to point him in the right direction or where to focus on, he'd be like, oh, I know that. Mm-hmm. Oh, you don't need to tell me this. I know this already. I'm like, if you know this, then why the fuck are you failing? Is it because I'm younger than you? You do not want to listen to reason? Like, anyways, yeah, that's...
Here's the thing, too. There's also a difference between having the knowledge of something...
Or useless knowledge.
Sure. And I would say useless knowledge is when you know the right thing, but you lack the cojones, a.k.a. the junk, a.k.a. the manhood, to actually do it and live it out. That's the thing. A lot of people out there actually know better, but they don't want to do better. They like their lives full of crap and drama and stupid little...
It's that victimhood mentality.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, so again, there's a difference between knowledge and applying the knowledge, So maybe he did know those things. Maybe people like him do know already what you tell them. But the fact that they're not acting it out and are happily running towards stupidity,
well, then
pretty much nullifies.
There it is. That's a form of ignorance itself.
Yeah.
You can't push away your ego or your pride to do the right thing. Then, my friend, you are lost.
Absolutely.
And like I said, it was just a period of my life where I was just looking for friendship in the wrong places.
Yep. And then I came back.
I don't even know. I don't even know how that happened. A random YouTube comment, I think.
It's a mix of several things.
I don't know, man.
Anyways, point is,
the thing is,
don't be a little man. Even if you are physically short, be a big, tall man in your heart and in your brain.
Like me. Because I'm pretty sure I was the same height as that guy.
No, he was a little bit shorter than you.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's pretty damn short.
Yeah, it's pretty short. Yep.
I'm a short guy. Well, I consider myself a short guy. I think I'm average, maybe. Ish. Yeah. A little below average. I'm not a very tall person, okay?
No one's...
And I accept that. I accepted that a long time ago.
Well, he's talking about it, so apparently maybe not.
No, I'm trying to get to a point here.
Oh, okay.
The little man syndrome, like, you think you're small, you think you have to bark loud like a fucking chihuahua. That's not how you get your point across. How you're going to get a point across is you're not a big guy, you don't have a big voice, you don't have a big body, whatever. Find other ways. And that's what I say.
Find a woman even smaller than you are.
That works too. Or in this case, try not to fucking dance with a woman who already has an established boyfriend, you dumb fuck.
Yeah, just take a hint.
Come on. You would think that the amount of years you've been alive, that occur to you by now. Wow, we're just shitting on this guy, aren't we?
Yeah.
He deserves it though. I haven't shit on him. It hit me, just like recently when I mentioned, oh yeah, little guy syndrome. That fucker.
Yeah. It all connects.
It all connects.
And there's more that could be said about him, but you know what? We'll leave that for a different topic on a different podcast.
Or in my situation, I think we'll cut it here.
That's what I just basically referenced.
No, that's not what I meant. I mean, cut it here. Like, we don't need to mention this.
Oh, we will, though. Inevitably. That's us. It'll come back.
The saltiness will return.
Yeah.
I want to say I'm salty. It's more of like a, wow, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. Well, you know, like Daniel. Fuck that guy.
Oh, yeah, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy, too. You know, there's a lot of fucking losers.
Absolutely.
Across, right?
And with that, I think we'll close this one out. It kind of went all over the place.
Shit, we'll have like a whole section where we just talk shit about all the losers.
Absolutely. Let's do that. Jan, any last words?
Yeah, my last words is, for you little guys out there, you don't need to bark too loud. Just make do with what you can, and not all your opinions have to be heard. Because I'm pretty sure they're all fucking stupid. What about you?
That's pretty good.
All right.
Everybody, it was a pleasure, even though it was mostly had between Jan and I. But hey, if you were listening,
It was just
thanks for joining along.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great night or evening or morning or afternoon, whenever you're listening to this podcast. We can't wait for next week and the weeks to come. Everybody, stay safe.
Stay healthy. And this is double deuces for us, so this is a special one. And with that being said, this is the Dead Lemons Podcast, signing out.